You've spoken about your experience as someone who started with coding. For the majority of your career as well, you've worked as a programmer within game dev teams. How can someone from a non game dev background, but a programming one, get into game programming?
I don't think a programmer is a game developer or a game programmer because programming as a field identifies practically this whole skill set that could, and part of those skill set can be applied into so many fields, right? So becoming a programmer would generally means that you know languages, and then you're gonna move from programming to being like a coder or a system designers and stuff like that, which brings in things like patterns, advanced programming, different tools, depending on which field you're kind of going into. So one of the key thing that exists from being a programmer to being a game programmer is to understand a design to a certain aspect. Game design very specifically is like what a game is. And the moment you start understanding that, like if you want to be that, I think that's when you start becoming a game programmer. Game programming, I mean, of course, like everyone knows, it's like what brings in life, what brings in the rules into the system and stuff that you make, right? It's the development aspect of it. That's where everything converge, regardless of in games, regardless of whatever field you are in, except maybe some aspects of business. Everything is going to converge into programming, coding, game programming. Like that's where everything is going to go down. So basically, when we talk about becoming a game programmer, you need to have understanding of the basics of game design, which means things like mechanics, systems, then visuals, sound, and then you get to have a lot of skills with like programming itself, which is the language you're doing, the engine that you're using, and the tools within them. But it doesn't end there, right? This is where you separate yourself from being a programmer to being a game programmer. You end up learning things like Blender because you need to understand the pipeline of 3D if you're working with that, which means modeling, skinning, texturing, rigging, skinning, UV coordinates and stuff like that. Because if you're working with 3D games and you do not understand the pipeline, you're kind of at a disadvantage there already. If you're going from 2D side, you need to understand how the 2D art side works, how maps works, how shader programming probably is going to work. From audio side, as well, similar things. From writing side, you need to understand some form of structures, some form of writing and so on, because you need to convert, like as a game programmer, what you need to do is that you need to take this design, understand it, and break it down so it could be computer can take instruction and players can interact with it. And that's where some parts of experience also comes in. Now the thing is that in the specific case, you don't have to be specialist and do or make any of these things, but the understanding is needed. And I think that's the first step when you're becoming a game programmer from being a programmer. That's like the major step that you take that separates you.